onions. What the fuck? What? I feel like something bad's gonna happen. And I don't like where this is going. What do you... She just... I don't understand. She just disappeared, bro. Fucking... How do you just... Poof, gone. Like evaporate, like disintegrated, dissolved. What? There's no way she's dead. Surely. Eh? I mean, this is just how it happens. That just means they're gone. His mother's actually dead. Like gone dead. No redemption. They just introduced Annabelle! Fucking sick. That was so cool. 7th of July. 1970. Took me half a year to even open this again. Anyway, we've gone to the point where he is now on Olympus. If this was what it was building up to, I would have read Percy Jackson sooner. I had no idea that it was here from book 1. That's insane. That's so cool. Oh no, now I want to read it so bad. I miss Jason and Piper. Also, I'm almost done. I I think I can finish this tonight. He got back home to his mom. Apparently, Gabe has been hitting her. Gabe's still there. Anyway, she's alive, by the way. Hades sent her back, and she's back home. You deserve better than this, Mom. You should go to college. Get your degree. Go write your novel. Meet a nice guy, maybe. Live in a nice house. You don't need to protect me anymore. Be safe with Gabe. Let me get rid of him. I can't even I got the book wet. No. I'm sweating. Oh, my pits are sweating. Wait, I need to turn up the AC. It's so hot. Oh no. Like, ow. Just wanted to come over and say, fuck Luke. I never liked him anyway. I knew from the beginning there was something off about him. I'm not surprised that he was the one that's betrayed Percy. It was obvious that he was shady, especially when they were talking through like in the spray. They did that call, the water call. They should have been overthrown thousands of years ago, but they've hung on thanks to us half-bloods. Maybe I might have been quick to judge. Luke, you're talking about our parents, I said. He laughed. That's supposed to make me love them? Period. Okay. Their precious Western civilization is a disease. Maybe I get it. Maybe he makes sense. He makes sense. The Olympians are so arrogant that they never dreamed someone would dare steal from them. Their security is horrible. I was halfway across New Jersey before I heard the storms rumbling, and I knew they'd discovered my theft. Do they not see all? What's the word for they see everything? Do they not see everything everywhere all the time? Well, obviously they don't. Otherwise, they would have known that there was who stole. But I mean, I would think that they would have more eyes around everywhere, kinda. Cause you know how Hades was like, "Oh, I knew you were coming to the underworld." I guess it was because of the Furies, the Furies. He said he expected Percy, and he knew that he was gonna come to the underworld. So I thought, well, wouldn't the other gods know how the other half bloods were doing, or like what they were up to? Right? Is that not how it works? I'm lost. Dahlia gave her life to save you. Oh, he's oh, that's a deep cut. You're being used, Luke. You and Ares both. Don't listen to Kronos. I've been used? Luke's voice turned shrill. Look at yourself. What has your done ever done for you? Kronos will rise. You've only delayed his plans. He will cast the Olympians into Tartarus and drive humanity back to their caves, all except the strongest, the ones who serve him. Now these are just two extremes. I was with him for a second. He had me in the first half. For a little bit, I was getting convinced, and now he lost me. This is a bit much. I don't know if I agree anymore. His eyes were sympathetic but sad. You will be a great hero, child. I will do my best to prepare you. But if I'm right about the path ahead of you, thunder boomed overhead, rattling the windows. All right. Chiron shouted, fine. He sighed in frustration. The gods have their reasons, Percy, knowing too much. See? He's listening. He's watching. Zeus knows. So how the fuck did he not know that Luke stole the shit? Proof of my choice. I'll be back next summer, I promised him. I'll survive until then. After all, I am your son. I asked Argus to take me down to cabin 3 so I could pack my bags for home. He deserves at least that those 9 months with his mom. But I okay, yeah, that's the end, because next is acknowledgements. I thought Annabeth knew something. Is that weird? I guess not. But that means I can move to the next book. That took me forever to read. But I sped run like quite a bit of it. Okay, it might be the shortest one, so this should be quick. I've gone to chapter 4. So now we know that Tyson is a Cyclops. Percy had a dream about Grover. He's in trouble. Grover's running away from something and says that he needs to warn them about something. Annabeth came and she traveled all the way to New York, and she took Percy and Tyson back to the camp. She's also been having dreams. She said it was about the camp. Percy didn't get to say goodbye to his mom again. So now she's probably worried sick, because apparently there was the whole thing that happened in their in their gym with the, what were they called? Angolian Abelagarastinians Avulalagarlas Astrala Lace Trigonians. They had the fight with the Lace Trigonians. Massive people. Percy had a bully at school again. No surprise. And then they found out that Tyson was a Cyclops. And he's apparently a baby Cyclops. He's so cute. I'm remembering it from the movie. I don't know if I remember correctly, but Tyson is also the son of Poseidon, I think. Right? Oh, Percy kept a picture of Annabeth in one of his books. And then the motherfucker, the bullies. What's his name again? Lone. He and his people tore it up like assholes. So the reason why they're back at camp was because monsters could now get past Talia, and apparently they found that someone had poisoned Talia, like the tree. But then now they have to figure out what the fuck was going on, because apparently a lot has changed in that 1 year that they decided to be with their families for just a moment because they're kids. Sue me, I guess. They just wanted to be with their families for like a minute. And now everything has gone to shit. Surprise, surprise. Chapter 5. Let's go. I just finished chapter 5. I just want to say, Tantalus, suck my dick. How dare you treat Tyson that way? Go fuck yourself. I'm mad. He's a dick. Also, how do they choose or decide who gets to leave the underworld and then do their punishment with like on land in the overworld? Because this guy's just a fucking dick, bro. Also, Tyson was claimed by Poseidon, so that's great. I've been accidentally staining my book blue because my fingers are blue from dyeing my hair. I thought I washed it off completely, but clearly I haven't. Bro, as we were turning in for bed, Tyson said, "You are mad?" I realized I'd been scowling. Nah, I'm not mad. He lay down in his bunk and was quiet in the dark. His body was way too long for his bed. When he pulled up the covers, his feet stuck out at the bottom. I am monster. Don't say that. It is okay. I will be a good monster. Then you will not have to be mad. Bro, he reminds me of Stitch. Huh, I love him. Okay, at this point, it's pretty clear that Tantalus is part of something bigger. He's definitely working for someone. I just finished chapter 6. He's really pissing me off. I get that he's probably gonna play a bigger role, but man, he's annoying. Oh, I want to punch him. I need Kyron back. I need him to save me. I need him to save us. Because I want to bash his head into a wall. I want him to suffer. I really hope we see pain. Food is like one of the best things on earth. And I'm assuming also in the underworld. I don't know what their cuisine is like. I just want him to suffer. I hope he never gets to eat, ever. Luke is back. What are our guesses? Will he or will he not turn? Will he be the prodigal son? I feel like he might. Or it's either he will turn or he dies.
Either he dies a violent but very dramatic, maybe tear jerking death, or he turns and he comes back to his daddy. He comes back to Papa, but right now he sounds evil. I don't know if Kronos will try and convince other campers or like other half bloods to do his bidding, but if it's only Luke, then yeah, I would want him to survive because I want to see more of what he has to say. Like I'm really interested in his thoughts. Just as I mentioned, this is personal. This man is hurt. Sorry, this boy. He's still a little boy. He's so itty bitty. He's so emo too. My goodness. He just went from one dad to another, just to serve. We love that for him. When Percy said, "You poisoned Talia's tree. You poisoned Talia," and Luke just goes, "Yeah, I did it." I can't imagine how big of a slap to the face that must have felt for Annabeth. Not only did you betray the camp, but you poisoned the very tree that was your friend. That tree was the only thing that was left of her. Guess who's back? It's your girl. Clarice is here. I'm getting the vibe. Her story might actually be like Sharpay from High School Musical. I haven't watched High School Musical in a very long time, but from what I remember, Sharpay didn't exactly change. Like, yeah, she was. Ugh, I fucking love Sharpay, but she was kind of a bitch. But by the end, she wasn't exactly everybody's friend, but she became palatable. You know, like there wasn't the change wasn't to a point where it felt like someone else, or it wasn't like a complete 180. It was just enough so that they could have some sort of like a mutual relationship with the people around them. That's what I'm thinking. Oh my god, is Tyson gonna die? Will he be a sacrifice? No. Everything is going so well for him right now. Is Rick Riordan the kind of person, the kind of author to do that? No. Is he? No. Right? No. Please, no. I could. Okay, no. I don't want to. I'm just gonna keep reading. And then we'll see how it goes. I know I said that there would have been a possibility that he would have killed Tyson off. I'm on chapter 12, the first page. Surely not. Like, so this is what it looks like. This is like it's on the right side, and I haven't turned the page. If Tyson had been down in the boiler room, there was no way he could have lived. He'd given his life for us, and all I could think about were the times I'd felt embarrassed by him and had denied that the two of us were related. Like, there's no 12. We're on 12. There's no way. Okay, they're gonna find him again. Surely he's still alive. 12 is too early. I'm not crying, but 13, Annabeth tries to swim home. She was the architect for a whole new world. She had reunited her parents, she had saved Luke, she had done everything she'd ever wanted. I blinked hard. When I opened my eyes, all I saw were the sirens. I just needed a moment for that. I just needed everyone. take a second for this. Okay, I will continue. Thank you very much. That was all I wanted to share. You can cry too. That's up to you. Grab your tissues. My boy's back! Where's also, I'm dyeing my hair. It's blue, but I just wanted to put purple on top so that it wasn't a greenish blue, but more of a purple blue. But that's not the point! Tyson's back! Okay, see, I knew he wasn't dead. Like, I wasn't convinced that he was way too important to just have died that quickly, that suddenly. Okay, now hang on. There's, I'm reading this, and there's something that I'm I'm realizing, because okay, yes, the Cyclops, Polyphemus, Polyphemus. He just fell off the cliff, right? Or is he dead? Well, I mean, I guess falling from that height would kill a person. So I'm wondering, is he dead? But I guess Tyson smelled like Polyphemus. He smelled like Polyphemus. Is he gonna stay on the island? Is this their goodbye? He just got back. There it is. He's gone.
I'm on chapter 18. So they got back to America from the island, from the Sea of Monsters, and they ended up in Miami. They got the fleece, they gave it to Clarice, and she's on her way back to camp. Clarice needs to go, and she needs to go now. They only have enough money for one flight, so like a plane ticket. Oh, and then fucking Luke showed up with his squad, and then he kidnapped Percy, Annabeth, Grover, and Tyson onto their ship, Princess Andromeda. I guess I'm trying to think about how they could have known sooner, but yeah, I don't know how that would have worked. The only person that they could trust, or they felt like they could trust, was Kyron. He was in Miami. when they when they when they last called him, he was in Miami. And they said Luke is a traitor. He was the one who did all of this stuff, but then the connection wasn't great, and then it was getting cut because Mans was like in the clubs, Dukes, and he couldn't hear them properly, and they couldn't hear him. And then he just says, "My Percy, Luke tried it. You're out of practice." Maybe it's just me. That just sounded more sensual in my head. Something about it. I don't know. He was building something, or he was like tinkering with something, and I still don't know what it is. They haven't told us what it is yet. It's not. I don't know if it's a big deal or not, but I want to know. To me, it's a big deal. I need to. I want to know that. Okay, wait. I'll 2 chapters. I'll finish it. I'll finish this book tonight. I don't know what people from Miami sound like, but all I can hear is like the Valley Girl accent, which I'm assuming is from a different part of America. Because he keeps saying dude, and I hear dude. Like, did you see that bear guy? He was like, whoa, I have an arrow in my mouth. That was awesome. Head slam. That's what I hear. And then they head slam. Two centaurs charged at each other full force and knocked heads. Hermes, families are messy. Immortal families are eternally messy. Sometimes the best we can do is to remind each other that we're related, for better or worse, and try to keep the maiming and killing to a minimum. I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like a thing I would want. Luke has put them through a lot. You can try to save him, but I think you as a father should be the one to try doing the saving and not trying to get someone else to do it for you. He's been through so much shit. All of this, and all his dad had to say was, brace yourself. You know what? I'll be mad for Percy. I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm not surprised. We just had a whole conversation with Hermes about how they just couldn't do that much for their children, or like they couldn't interact with them as much or show any favoritism. I don't think there, I don't remember there being any other children of Poseidon besides Tyson and Percy. I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just not remembering right, but I don't think there were. So, I mean, couldn't you show a little favoritism? He's your only child. I read too quickly. I need to read this again. Okay. Read with me. I wanted to say, well, I tried to figure out how to apologize for getting embarrassed about him before the quest, for telling everyone he wasn't my real brother. It wasn't easy to find the words. I know what you will tell me, Tyson said, looking ashamed. Poseidon did not care for me after all. Well, he sent you to help me. Just what I asked for. I blinked. You asked Poseidon for me? For a friend, Tyson said, twisting his shirt in his hands. Young Cyclopses grow up alone on the streets, learn to make things out of scraps, learn to survive. But that's so cruel. He shook his head earnestly. Makes us appreciate blessings, not be greedy and mean and fat like Polyphemus. But I got scared. Monsters chased me so much, clawed me sometimes. The scars on your back? A tear welled up in his eye. No, tear welled in his eye. Sphinx on 72nd Street. Big bully. I prayed for Daddy, to Daddy for help. Soon the people at Merryweather found me, met you. Biggest blessing ever. No, I'm not doing it. Sorry, I said Poseidon was mean. He sent me a brother. I stared at the watch that Tyson had made me. No! He just wanted family. Just wanted someone. Anyway, back to the race, I guess. I just don't feel like I got enough of Tyson. Okay, wait, I'll finish this first before I. But I really do hope that we see him again in like the future books. Somewhere. Yeah. Aww. Oh no. Fuck no. Bro, if the next book is about saving Annabeth. Ah, yuck. Read with me. There at the base of the tree, a girl was lying unconscious. Another girl in great armor was kneeling next to her. Blood roared in my ears. I couldn't think straight. Annabeth had been attacked, but why was the flea still there? The tree itself looked perfectly fine, whole and healthy, suffused With the essence of the golden fleece, it healed the tree, Chiron said, his voice ragged, and poison was not the only thing it purged. Thalia was out. Thalia was out of the tree. So what's it doing to Annabeth? Then I realized Annabeth wasn't the one lying on the ground. She was the one in armor kneeling next to the unconscious girl. It is Thalia. So why was Annabeth? Was she? She's not. I think she's just emotional. Yeah. For a second there, I thought she was like they somehow switched places, and now the tree was consuming Annabeth. That's not what's happening. And I was holding someone who was destined to be my best friend, possibly my worst enemy. I'm Thalia, the girl said, daughter of Zeus. Bro, that's epic. That is a hell of a way to end end the book. Ooh, I don't remember Thalia's role in Ho. I remember she was there. She wasn't part of the group though. Fuck. I don't remember their names. Who was the Grover version for Jason and Piper? I forgot his name. But they also had a third wheel. A third. Who ended up with s- 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 they ended up with a girl on an island, or they were thinking about something about an island. I remember that. But it was Jason, Piper, Frank, Hazel, Percy, Annabeth, son of Hades. And son of Hades, what's his name? Fuck. What's his name? That emo shit. I forgot his name. Okay. So book two definitely felt like Tyson just was like a filler for Grover. To sort of be the comic relief, which obviously there's no replacing Grover. They did a good job of making me care about him. Like I cared for Tyson. I hope to see him again. He was so cute. I love him. The part where they were passing by the Siren Island, yo, I think one of my favorite parts in the book. Another one of my favorite parts was when they were about to leave, and then we can't leave him, I decided. Tantalus will punish him for us being gone. Percy, Annabeth said, trying to keep her cool. We're going to Polyphemus's island. Polyphemus Polyphemus is an SIK a CYK. She stamped her foot in frustration. As smart as she was, Annabeth was dyslexic too. We could have been there all night while she tried to spell Cyclops. You know what I mean? It was just, I love that part. It's such, he's so funny. Rick. Can I call you Rick? Mr. Riordan. You're a funny guy. I love how humorous the books are. Maybe I'm just too suspicious of things, but I thought Tantalus was gonna have like a bigger role. I thought he was gonna have more of an agenda, more of a backstory, more lore, because they really played him up to be a dick, and I'm glad that he got what he deserved, and he just never ate, even at the very end where he managed to like grab a hold of the cheeseburger, but he didn't get to eat it. Love that was a great part. I thought there would be a part where it slips up that he was actually working for he was like a double agent in some way for Kronos or Luke. The Titan's curse. Oh, and another thing. Is Thalia the same age she was when she passed away? Or is she the same? Or did she grow? Like, is she older now? So she's back. Yeah, I guess she's kind of just back to being 16? No, 12. 13? Nico. Was that his name? The son of Hades? It just hit me all of a sudden. Was that his name? I think that was his name. Was it his name? Maybe it was his name. I don't know. Fuck. Is it? Okay. I don't know. Bianca and Nico D'Angelo. Bianca sounds familiar. I don't remember her, but I think Nico D'Angelo sounds. I think it might be. Fuck. Oh my god, they do have children from all three. Shit, bro. Okay. Annabeth is gone? Obviously, I need to turn my firewall on. It felt like there wasn't enough urgency to save her. Obviously, they were hurt, and then the hunters showed up. But this is Annabeth. Surely you could have tried a little harder. Yeah, I think she jumped onto the manticore, and then they both fell off the cliff. The manticore might be dead. Is Annabeth dead? Possibly. I don't think she's dead. I don't think there would be, I'm sure there would be a bigger reaction if she was actually dead, and we'd know for sure if she actually was dead. Like, there wouldn't be like a, is she not? But somehow she's disappeared. I don't know how, but Artemis was talking about some magic. She just didn't sense Annabeth around anymore, and she disappeared. Somehow, magically disappeared. Am I crazy to think that maybe Annabeth joined Luke? Was that even within the realm of possibility? Did they find her? Or unless they did get her and they're gonna brainwash her somehow? Or like are they gonna break her, convince her, maybe? I don't know. But with her being gone, if she is with Luke, maybe. I I would be worried. To the D'Angelos, bro. Yeah, Bianca joined the Hunters. She's pledged to Artemis that same night. She found out she was a half blood. She found out all of the gods in Greek mythology were real. All in one night. We don't even know who her parent is. Obviously, I think I want to say it's Hades because I'm remembering from Poe that Nico was the son of Hades. They don't know that, and she just decided that one night. Suddenly, she made such a quick choice. It wasn't even a day or even sometime. She didn't even consult or even talk to Nico before she made the pledge. She just made the pledge. Like, Zoe Nitride must be really convincing. Her and Artemis. So she doesn't know how old she is. So do we take into account how do trees age faster? Is there anything about trees having, are they like dogs? I don't think so. Because trees can live for a very long time. So maybe our 1 year is like their half year, quarter of a year. The best Chiron could figure she had kept aging while in tree form, but much more slowly. You're 15, almost 16. Oh, there we go. Okay. She may even pretend to cooperate. Maybe I'm just reading into it a little too much. Like, what if she wasn't pretending? Maybe it isn't a joke. I'm a little lost. Okay, so Zoe and Percy had a nightmare. Zoe's nightmare was about Artemis being lost or perhaps kidnapped. She was in trouble and she asked Chiron for permission to leave the camp. He obviously said no. And then Percy had a dream about Annabeth and Luke. Annabeth was in trouble. He thinks it's Luke's fault because Luke was the one who sort of tricked her into helping him. And then she got into trouble. Luke didn't help her and he just left her alone. Now, there's this part in this chapter. He found a brochure in Annabeth's backpack about the Hunters of Artemis. Where I'm confused is when she could have gotten it, or when it was given to her, or where she found it, when she found it, because this opened with them going to the school. It was Thalia, Percy, Annabeth. So it was the three of them together. And then they got to the school, they met up with Grover. Percy found out the monsters were real. So it was the other three. She was standing in front of an actual god. Did she get the brochure before they arrived at the boarding school? She couldn't have gotten it while they were looking for the D'Angelo siblings, right? Because her, Thalia, and Grover were focused on looking for the siblings, and I doubt that she would have somehow come across and just stopped to look up a brochure. Or unless someone just slipped it in her bag. Oh, that's a possibility too. Yeah. But then Grover said, "Well, it seems to me maybe Annabeth was thinking about joining." Which would suggest that she took that brochure from somewhere. But he doesn't even know if she picked it up from somewhere. So this had to have happened when she was alone. When or where? I don't know. I think I'm overthinking it. Thorn isn't dead. Sound the alarms, he's alive. Which means Annabeth is alive. At least we hope. I mean, according to Percy's dream, she's alive. But Thorn is alive. He survived. I just want to take a second because I feel like there are so many things that we need to put a pin in. Clarice is still gone. She's been gone for over a month at this point. No one's looking for her. No one said anything. Where did she go? What did Chiron ask her to do? And where? I feel like there was more. Oh, the Titan's curse is another thing. The story behind Riptide is another thing. Mortal human beings and monsters / half-bloods working together. That's very interesting because what would the mortals be seeing? Because Percy just mentioned the Scythian Dracanae. Those are snake women, reptilian women. What would they be seeing? I guess they could be seeing just women with regular legs. I mean, if Chiron could fit in a wheelchair, Yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, I think that makes sense. If I remember correctly, Nico had the power to summon the undead, like skeletons. I can't remember. Were they dancing skeletons? I know, I know he was insecure about it. If right, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I think he didn't feel comfortable using his power. That is not thy decision, Zoe snapped. Thalia scowled at her. You're not the boss here, Zoe. I don't care how old you are, you're still a conceited little brat. You never had any wisdom when it came to boys, Zoe growled. You could never leave them behind. I want to know the lore so bad. There's so. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's so much going on. So much that we need to go, like, we need to run back. And we need to go back.
Bro, now see here, this is another one now. Uh, when they switched trains to try and get away from the helicopter, so they took the subway. Bianca surprised everyone because she was like, "This subway is new, and it wasn't there when we were kids." But the subway system seemed to be, well, according to Percy, I didn't see how their whole subway system could be less than 12 years old. And so now everyone's like, what do you mean? How old are her and Nico? It's another thing to pin. We will get back to. Now, see, this is another thing. This is the thing. One of the things that I forgot was San Francisco. Percy didn't ask because he didn't want to look fucking stupid in front of Annabeth, and she never explained why Half Bloods couldn't go to San Francisco for some reason. So he's talking to Thalia about it because apparently they're on their way west to San Francisco. Why? I asked, what's so bad about San Francisco? The mist is really thick there because the mountain of despair is so near. Titan's magic, what's left of it, still lingers. Monsters are attracted to that area like you wouldn't believe. What's the mountain of despair? Talia raised an eyebrow. You really don't know? Ask stupid Zoe, she's the expert. She glared out the windshield. I wanted to ask her what she was talking about, but I also didn't want to sound like an idiot. There he goes again. I hated feeling like Thalia knew more than I did, so I kept my mouth shut. Well, I mean, to be fair, she is older than you, and she's had more experience. I, I, I believe. The afternoon sun shone through the steel mesh side of the freight car. Sorry, I just had a thought. Luke, Thalia, and Annabeth were trying to make their way to the camp. So they were running around from monsters for 2 years, found Grover, made it to camp, but they were still trying to get away from monsters, like the Cyclops was one of them. And then Thalia sacrificed herself before they could make it into camp. Wait, so she sacrificed herself, turned into a tree. So how did Chiron teach her the mist trick? Unless she learned that mist trick uh when she was there for like a couple months already. Like when she became human again, when she was separated from the tree. Well, that is weird then. Cuz if Chiron taught her that mist trick once she became human again, like post tree Thalia, and he hadn't taught it to Percy, yeah, that is weird. Cuz Percy's been there for a while now. She is afraid of heights, which I agree with Percy on this one. Because, like, Lord of the Sky, afraid of heights. That's funny.
You think we're going to get attacked by killer refrigerators? I asked. She gave me a hard look. Zoe is right, Percy. Things get thrown away here for a reason. Now come on, let's get across the yard. That's the second time you've agreed with Zoe, I muttered, but Thalia ignored me. Are we gonna get some sort of enemies to lover situation between Thalia and Zoe? You think? I hope so. There's tension, and now they're forced to work together, go on a quest together. They have history. I think by the end of this book, they're going to be dating. This could be the one. They could be the lesbians. If they don't get together by the end of this would be the worst book. Forced proximity, and they might save each other's lives at some point. That's gonna be super cute. I'm manifesting it. The reason why I'm saying it out loud right now is because I want it to happen, and it's going to happen. Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's already written, it's gonna happen. Aphrodite shows up with Ares, and then for a second, Percy saw Annabeth's face in Aphrodite. And then she said, "Oh, you should focus on getting Annabeth instead." I don't know. In my mind, friend or not, lover or friend, he would probably still want to go. And then now they're going through the junkyard, and someone's there. It's like a big giant thing. Now they're running away. Does Bianca die? I'm getting way too ahead of myself. I should just keep reading. She grabbed a mytho magic statue for Nico. No. Why did I say that? No. Oh no. Bro, they just said. He just said, you can't. You're new at this. You'll die. Why did I say that? No, no. I have to. Oh no. Okay, hang on. Wait. It's my responsibility. Here. She picked up the little god statue and pressed it into my hand. Fuck. If anything happens, give that to Nico. Tell him I'm sorry. Girl, don't. Girl, just assume you'll live and you'll live. Please. He's just a little boy. Bro. Bianca, no. But she wasn't waiting for me. She charged at the monster's left foot. The monster turned. Grover should have run, but he must have been too exhausted from the effort of so much magic. He took 2 steps, fell, and didn't get back up. If we're gonna lose more than one. Oh. The prophecy. I just remembered the one line at a time. We searched until the sun started to rise, but no luck. No fucking way. No fucking. No. Prophecy. One shall be lost in the land without rain. Why hadn't I seen it? Why had I let her go instead of me? Here we were in the desert, and Bianca D'Angelo was gone. So she never found out who her parents were. At least she did one thing for herself before she died. She was taking care of Nico. See, now I'm changing my mind. Take back what I said from last time. I don't know if I really feel much for her. I'll be honest. But at the same time, I wish there was more she could have gotten out of her life. Nico lost a sister, even though Percy promised that he'd protect his sister. Oh god. Oh god. How is he gonna face him? Here's your mytho magic statue. The last one you didn't have. Oh, where's your sister? Look at the statue. You remember the statue? Look at the statue. They keep doing this recently. It just ended in a cliffhanger. I gave him the idea of how to steal the apples, how to trick my father, but he took all the credit. But gurgle, 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 gurgle. They keep doing this to me. Stop doing that. Rachel Elizabeth Dare. Is this another half blood? Because this is an interesting encounter. Put a pin on it. Let's see if she'll come back. I don't know if she will, but yeah. So Percy eventually just figures out that the person he saw at the elevator, or the one who was giving the tour, was Athena. There's always a way for those clever enough to find it. Could she not have helped more directly? Or done, I don't know, something else? Because those skeletons don't die. They just reassemble and they come back. Then I just keep remembering, yeah, they can't get directly involved with the half bloods, blah 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 blah. Now I'm getting frustrated with the gods. Even I you know what? It's fine. This is what they can. This is the most they can do. This is the most they can do. I'm peeved. Question might have been answered according to what Percy. Sounds like I'm saying pussy. According to what Percy put together when he told Thalia about the girl, Rachel, she said, "Some mortals are like that. Nobody knows why." Percy had a realization that his mom was the same way. So I guess there are just some mortals that have the ability to see through the mist, but I feel like there's more to it than that. There surely should be more to it than that. My tea, wait. It's hot enough. I think I could take that. Okay. Action is going on. Dr. Thorne is there. Apparently, Percy asked a stupid question to Nereus, that guy. And apparently he was like, "Oh, it's the serpent cow. That's the monster." And now they're making Thalia make the choice to kill Ophiotaurus, and she's hesitating. Luke might have had a point, and he was like, "Thalia would have been on our side." Annabeth was like, "No, she wouldn't. This is your moment. This is why Lord Kronos brought you back to life. You will sacrifice the Ophiotaurus. You will bring its entrails to the sacred fire on the mountain. You will gain unlimited power, and for your 16th birthday, you will overthrow Olympus." And you know what? I get why they would be so exhausted. With everything that we've read, even from book one. Luke and someone else was talking about how, to them, you're entertainment. And then we saw that happen in the first book. Percy did go around doing side quests, trying to do a quest, trying to prove that he was innocent. And in doing all of that, he just almost died, God knows how many times at this point. And he had to go through so much just to try and prove himself. That's not the point. Thalia's got to make a choice. And right now, she looked completely stunned. Your friend Luke recognized it. You shall be reunited with him. You shall rule the world together under the auspices of the Titans. Your father abandoned you, Thalia. He cares nothing for you. And now you shall gain power over him. Crush the Olympians underfoot as they deserve. Call the beast. It will come to you. Use your spear. What can you say to defend that? Which is what Percy tried to do, and he said, your father helped you. He sent the metal angels. He turned you into a tree to preserve you. Zeus could have showed up at any time, taken her somewhere, given her to have helped her in so many other ways. And you think turning her into a tree and sending some metal angels is enough? It's not like they haven't tried. She even said herself that she's prayed and it just never worked. He never showed up. He never came. And now, suddenly, only once, only when they're so close to the end of the world or somehow, or if we're so close to a war, Only now does he respond. Only when he's at risk does he go, oh, actually, maybe I should give my daughter some attention. They're running away from monsters their whole lives. Had they not found Camp Half Blood, have they not been brought to Camp Half Blood, what would they do? Would they just be running away their whole lives? And their parents would just never notice them? Oh, I'm mad for them. Does she die? Does she disappear? I don't. Something happens to her. I don't know what, but something happens. Maybe she and Zoe run away together. Oh my god, imagine if she just got unlimited power and then she just used it so she could disappear with Zoe. Zoe can retire from being like the director of the hunters, and then her and Thalia can just live together forever. They would both be immortal because she has unlimited power. Wouldn't that just be a wonderful ending to this book? You know what? I've said it. Now it should happen. I didn't know what he meant, but the fear in his voice sounded real enough. I believed that Luke was in danger. He's trying to reassemble his trio. Him, Annabeth, and Thalia. Annabeth is alive. They have Annabeth. She's there, but she has a gray streak in her hair. I think it's probably from all the stress. They also saw Artemis, who was holding up the sky. One shall perish by a parent's hand. Are Zoe's parents still around? Because she was banished from her family, so maybe her parents are still holding a grudge and they're still mad at her. She met up with her sisters, and they were not happy to see her. Oh no, Thalia. Then she leveled her spear. You aren't Luke. I don't know you anymore. Clearly, he sounds possessed. Yes, you do, Thalia. Please, don't make him destroy you. Luke, what's going on? Also, Clarice, we never side plot. What's going on? Oh, maybe no. Is she? Do you think she would be? Would she be one of the half bloods that joined Luke's cause? It's either that or she's dead, and just no one mentioned anything. Also, there was a fight that went on the docks, and Mr. D. Fair enough. He helped out. And he called Percy by his name. His right name. His correct name. Still annoying as hell, though. Just to be clear. Atlas is Zoe's father. The horrible thing was, I could see the family resemblance. Atlas had the same regal expression as Zoe, the same cold, proud look in his eyes that Zoe sometimes got when she was mad, though on him it looked 1,000 times more evil. That explains it. She might be the one who perishes under her father's hand. That's why Luke was tired. He was the one that was bearing the weight. Right? Remember in the dream that Percy had? It was Luke first, then Annabeth came to help him because he sounded really desperate. And turns out he actually was, because it was a lot of weight that he was carrying. So then Annabeth took the weight, and now Artemis took the weight, and now Percy has taken the weight. Oh, okay, that's why he's tired. He's still connected to Grover. If he dies, does Grover die? Because that's what Grover said last time. We would lose them both, right? Is that how that works? Dr. Chase! Bro, I did not expect this. Wow. Whoa. With machine guns, y'all. He was waiting for this moment. Oh, yeah. Zoe might die. Either she dies or she retires. She's going to retire at some point, but I'm saying like right now, this might force her into retirement. Will Thalia be the next hunter director? Hunter leader? Is that what'll happen? Can I just... She saw Thalia and took her hand. I'm sorry we argued, Zoe said. We could have been sisters. This is their version of, oh, they were best friends. their enemies to lovers is it's not lovers, it's sisters. We're not gonna get my ending. They're not gonna live happily ever after. They're not gonna be the most iconic lesbian couple ever. I'm sure there's fan art somewhere. In another world, in an alternate universe, it makes sense. It would have made perfect sense. Rick, Mr. Riordan, what happened here? Who was it? The editors? Did they want to cut that part out? Are they homophobic? They would have had like a cottagecore themed wedding if they wanted to get married. They would have lived in the woods. They would have hunted together. They would have hated on men together. We could have had so much. See? It's my fault, Thalia said, blinking hard. You were right about Luke, about heroes, men, everything. She would have come around. She would have been a hunter. They could have lived together. So he sees them too. Dr. Chase also can see through the mist. Like it doesn't work on him, the same way it doesn't work on Rachel and Sally. What does Rachel have to do with anything? Who was she? Oh, I think she's coming back. Percy! Percy! I get that. Oh, wow. How could she still have any feelings for that creep? How could she possibly make excuses for him? He deserved that fall. He deserved. Okay, I'll say it. He deserved to die. That's the thing, I can't argue that. Who can? He's done a lot of shit. He betrayed them. Annabeth. Maybe she saw something. Maybe she could see that Luke was possessed in some way. He deserved to die. Unlike Bianca, unlike Zoe, Luke couldn't be alive. It wouldn't be fair. Nothing ever is. Like throughout your whole journey. Nothing's fair, Percy. Come on. Okay, so Percy thought it was gonna be Annabeth, but Artemis said, Thalia, daughter of Zeus, will you join the hunt? Y'all, stunned silence filled the room. I stared at Thalia, unable to believe what I was hearing. Annabeth smiled. She squeezed Thalia's hand and let it go as if she'd been expecting this all along. I will, Thalia said firmly. Only a hero, someone with strength, a true heart, and great courage would do such a thing. This is in context to taking the weight of the sky. The curse of the sky. It's either a titan or a really brave hero, I guess. And Luke is an interesting case. Clarissa's back? Where was she? Is he gonna run away? Because I keep going back to Ho, but I can't remember. I know he managed to get to the other camp. The purple one. The Roman one. I forgot what they were called, but for some reason in my mind it's SPQRS. No. TPQRS? SPQR? But I'm pretty sure he doesn't stay in Camp Half-Blood. Okay, so this is hinting something. She's dead, he closed his eyes. His whole body trembled with rage. I should have known it earlier. She's in the fields of Asphodel, standing before the judges right now, being evaluated. I can feel it. Oh my goodness. The Skellies are back. That was it. Yo! Okay, let me try and recall everything that happened. Yo, but Clarice didn't say what she had to say. No! Look at this cover. It's so nice. I think this might be my favorite one out of all 5 of them. Okay, wait. So by the end of this, do they officially start dating? Surely, I think at least by the next book. They were together in Ho. It's not a date, I protested. It's just Annabeth, Mom. Jeez. He's coming all the way from camp to meet you. Well, yeah. You're going to the movies. Yeah. Just the two of you. Mom! Oh, so she is back. Miss Rachel. There.
So Percy obviously has a crush on Annabeth. Annabeth's smile melted. She stared at Rachel, then at the school. For the first time, she seemed to notice the black smoke and the ringing fire alarms. She frowned at me. Oh, Rachel, Annabeth. Annabeth, Rachel. She's a friend, I guess. Percy, what kind of fucking answer is that? On what spectrum is the I guess? Like, I guess I know her so well, we share a soul, or I guess she's kind of a stranger. Annabeth doesn't know. How are you supposed to suggest which side of the spectrum? Annabeth stared at me for a second, then she turned and took off. I can feel it. I can't just, like, I don't just see it in my mind. Yo, oh, she's jealous, jealous. She's mad. Percy fucked up. Percy fucked up real bad. She's kind of cute. Boy, boy, you were in trouble. Bro, Grover's got a girlfriend. Yo, that's my boy. Let's fucking go. So the Council of Cloves don't believe that Grover actually heard Pan. And so when they got back from their last quest, and Grover was like, I heard Pan. I sensed him. He's around. I feel the vibes. They said, okay, prove it. And he couldn't prove it. And so now they're judging him. They're giving him a week. Look for Pan or find evidence that Pan is communicating with them or is alive, essentially. And if he doesn't, he risks losing his searcher's license. Tyson's back though. The brothers have reunited. I'm so happy. I missed him a lot. I'm so glad that he's back. So much information just happened all at once. Okay, hang on. So, by the end of this chapter, Nico is alive. Nico's in the underworld by the River Styx. He's got some ghost buddy that's telling him to do bad shit. And I mean, like the devil on his shoulder? Would that be an appropriate thing to say? Or would that be offensive? Because his dad is Hades and is technically their version of a devil. Anyways, apparently he's 11, but he looks older? Or maybe he's just saying that he looks older compared to how he looked when he last saw him. But he's 10 going 11. But that, and then Clarice and Annabeth are besties now. They're working together. They didn't say. First of all, they still haven't mentioned what Clarice's request was last book. I'm still waiting for an answer. And then Quintus. Who is Quintus? Why does he have like a purple mark on his clavicle? Oh, the other way. They still, it kept going on cliffhangers about this other way that Grover could find Pan. Also, I kind of want to know like the story between Grover and Juniper. Like, how did they meet? When did they start dating? When did they know that they liked each other? What was their first date? Also, if Chiron says that Quintus is acting weird or he seems suspicious, then I would be suspicious. There's backstory here. He's like the first older half blood that we've met. Where are the others? What happened? Something happened, and he seemed to be the only one that survived. Why? Who? Who is his parent? Yo, they didn't say anything about that. Purple mark. Why would it be purple? Why would it be on his clavicle? A lot of questions. And we're two chapters in, bro.
Juniper was standing in the bushes. It was weird how she almost turned invisible when she was surrounded by plants. That's cute. She gestured me over urgently. You need to know, Luke wasn't the only one I saw around that cave. What do you mean? She glanced back at the arena. I was trying to say something, but he was right there. Who? The sword master, she said. He was poking around the rocks. My stomach clenched. Quintus? When? I don't know. I don't pay attention to time. Maybe a week ago, when he first showed up. What was he doing? Did he go in? I am not sure. He's creepy, Percy. I didn't even see him come into the glade. Suddenly, he was just there. You have to tell Grover it's too dangerous. Do we think that he's working with Luke if they showed up at the same place? Did he come from the labyrinth? We're not sure what's going to happen yet. But the plan is to try and find Daedalus, Daddy-dada, Daddy-dee-dee-daddy-dee, to look for Dallas and convince him not to work with Luke. That's obviously if he's alive. They don't know if he's alive, is another thing. Is he working for Luke? Or maybe he's one of those people that are like, oh, I'm working for Luke, but at the same time, I have my own agenda, so I'm not technically working for Luke. Have my cake and eat it too, type of guy. He gives me that kind of vibe. I feel like that might be a possibility. He's the first adult half blood that anyone's ever seen. It's also something that's never crossed my mind as well. It's like, okay, yeah, I guess technically there are adult half bloods if they do survive. But at the same time, where do they go? Do they have like a separate camp? Youth half bloods and adult half bloods? It's like you reach a certain age, say cutoff is like, was it 21 or 18? You turn 18, and then they just kick you out because you're too old, and then you progress to the adult half blood camp. Oh, then he caught a glimpse of me and made a strangled, terrified sound. The son of Poseidon. He's horrible. Chris had been looking at me, and yet why did I get the feeling he hadn't been talking about me at all? What could Tyson have possibly done? Who was Mary? I don't remember any Mary. Have we met Mary? Have we met a Mary? Hail Mary? The dead, the traitor, and the lost one raise. You shall rise or fall by the ghost king's hand. Child of Athena's final stand? Final stand? Obviously, I know she's not gonna die, but like, what did they mean? Things time. Tyson's coming. Yay, blow things up time, he said. Please don't tell me that's foreshadowing. Please tell me he's gonna live. Please. Okay, they're finally talking about Clarice, and they're discussing whether or not Grover should go to the labyrinth because apparently it can take you anywhere. And I'm assuming that they're that the plan is to find Pan or take a path that would somehow lead to Pan. Okay, despite how serious she was acting, I was happy she wasn't mad at me anymore, and I kind of liked the fact that she'd broken the rules to come sit next to me. Bro, lock in! She's trying to tell you something! He's so cute. Kyron sent Clarice to investigate the labyrinth because they found Chris Rodriguez outside of Clarice's mom's house. You shall delve in the darkness of the endless maze, the dead, the traitor, and the lost one raise. Who do we think those people are? Because when they say the dead, immediately I just think of Nico. Who's the lost one? Because here, Annabeth is suggesting that it's Pan. The traitor, I think that might be Luke. But then at the same time, that's a weird trio. Like especially if the lost one is Pan, I don't really see Pan's connection to Nico and Luke. You shall rise or fall by the Ghost King's hand. Okay, that might be Nico. Oh yeah, the child of Athena's final stand. But he's more of like a skeleton king. I need all of them. So she's taking Percy, Grover, Tyson, and herself. So there's four of them going. Last winter, five went on a quest to save Artemis. Only three came back. I don't like the thought of Tyson dying, and I don't want to think about it, but I feel like he might. Why do we keep killing people? Stop dying. Also, uh, oh no. Because I just remembered the son of Poseidon. He's horrible. Is Tyson gonna suddenly switch up at some point and then they're gonna be forced to kill him? Is that what's gonna happen? Are they just gonna be left with no choice? There's no way. I don't think that would be the case. But if we were to connect those two ideas, that's where my mind is going. And I don't like that it's going there. If they have to end up fighting Tyson and then killing him, I feel like I'm overthinking this. I need to calm down. I need a minute. Unless they meet like another person on the way who also just happens to be that okay, like technically the son of Poseidon as well. He does sound really concerned in this situation. He's giving Percy a dog whistle that summons Mrs. O'Leary. Mrs. That means she's married. Where's the other one? Where's her partner? Where did she come from? Because as I was reading this whole exchange between them, I was also feeling like, well, he seems really sincere in this moment, but at the same time, Luke was also the same way. And also here, Percy, but then again, I trusted Luke once. And you know what? Fair enough. His behavior, shady. Chiron thinks it's weird. Juniper feels like it's weird as well. Percy thinks it's weird. Everyone is getting a bad feeling around him. I don't know if we should trust that or if we should trust this. Oh, I don't know who to trust. Ah, put a pin on this. I slipped the freezing whistle into my pocket, promising myself that I would never use it. I have a feeling he's gonna use it. See? See? But I couldn't shake the feeling that one of us wasn't going to come back from this quest alive. See? See? You see? You see? You see? Someone might be betrayed at this point. Something's gonna happen and it's not gonna be pretty. Briaress, the 100-hand man. He has to get his shit together. Tyson fought for him, rescued him, got him out of that prison because he believed in him. And he is now just walking away. I hope he comes back. I want there to be a redemption arc. I want Tyson to see his hero find courage again. Because we love Tyson and we care about him. And he's not gonna die. Oh, I don't want it to happen, but I really think that he might die. I really think they're foreshadowing his death. No! Go, brother, I will meet you inside. I hated the idea. I'd almost lost Tyson once before, and I didn't want to ever risk that again. You can do it, I told Tyson, but immediately I knew he couldn't. He's not gonna die. He's not gonna die. He will not die. Tyson is gonna stay alive. Do not worry, brother. You saved me. You wouldn't have had to if Briars had helped. He was just scared, I said. I'm sure he'll get over it. He is not strong, Tyson said. He is not important anymore. He heaved a big, sad sigh, then closed his eye. The metal pieces fell out of his hand, still unassembled, and Tyson began to snore. Please don't die. He's not gonna die. He's not gonna. I can't start now. I'm just gonna keep reading, and I'm not gonna think about it. Yes, he was scared. He would not help us, and that bothered you. Yes, Tyson's voice wavered. Briar should be strong. He is older and greater than Cyclops. But he ran away. Hephaestus grunted. There was a time I admired the 100-handed ones, back in the days of the First War. But people, monsters, even gods change, young Cyclops. You can't trust them. Believe me, young Cyclops, Hephaestus said. You can't trust others. All you can trust is the work of your own hands. Why do I feel like this is going to click something in Tyson's head and make him act a certain way or do something? Mm, exactly. That's okay. I need to slow down because Grover senses Pan, but the spider is going another way. The spider was almost out of sight, but I thought about my conversation with Grover last night and I knew what he had to do. We'll split up, I said. No, Annabeth said. I agree. That's way too dangerous. How will we ever find each other again? And Grover can't go alone. Tyson put his hand on Grover's shoulder. I will go with him. I couldn't believe I was hearing this. Tyson, are you sure? The big guy nodded. Goat boy needs help. We will find the god person. I am not like Hephaestus. I trust friends. I agree, splitting up is really bad. Oh no. See, now I can't stop thinking about it because what if this is the part where someone dies? Just read! Stop it. Okay, fucking okay. That's so cute. Wow. Oh, they're just brain children. They were just thought of. She wasn't born in the normal way. She was literally born from thoughts. Her children are born in the same way. When Athena falls in love with a mortal man, it's purely intellectual. I seriously need I need more than just hetero relationships in this. Like surely there is more to this. If she can make kids purely intellectually, surely she can make them with women. I need a lesbian brainchild. I want one. It's a meeting of minds. She would tell you that's the purest kind of love. Logical. I was a brainchild. That's so cute. Children of Athena are sprung from the divine thoughts of our mother and the mortal ingenuity of our father. Or mother. Let's leave space. Let's keep it open. Mortal ingenuity of our parent. I'm pretty sure she's not straight. In my mind, in my heart and in my mind, she's not. So, fight me. Wait! 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 What? Girl, she caught me off guard too! The fuck? That's so cute! Wait. Put your cap back on, I said. Get out. What? Annabeth shrieked. No, I'm not leaving you. I've got a plan. I'll distract him. You can use the metal spider. Maybe it'll lead you back to Hephaestus. You have to tell him what's going on. But you'll be killed. I'll be fine. Besides, we've got no choice. Annabeth glared at me like she was going to punch me. And then she did something that surprised me even more. She kissed me. Be careful, seaweed brain. She put her hat on and vanished. Yeah, she's just nonchalant like that. Just kiss and leave. Calypso! Calypso, Calypso! That was the name of that guy's girlfriend. Oh, I forgot his name. I don't remember if they end up on an island somewhere far away. Percy, I hope you're listening. What the fuck? Did you just forget that Annabeth kissed you before you almost died? Was that just a thing that happens to you so often that you just forget? However amazing the stars were, Calypso was twice as brilliant. I mean, I've seen the goddess of love herself, Aphrodite, who, by the way, you saw Annabeth's face in, and I would never say this out loud or she'd blast me to ashes, but for my money, Calypso was a lot more beautiful. I hope Annabeth is out there completely unconcerned. I hope she's moved on. I hope, you know what? Luke, where you at, boy? I don't like this. I don't like this behavior. Percy, I'm snitching, bitch. Period. Let's go. Tell me, Percy, I have no wish to argue with you, but do you support the gods because they are good or because they are your family? Face this. She was just about to share her lore. Every 1,000 years or so, they allow a hero to wash up on my shores, someone who needs my help. I tend to him and befriend him, but it is never random. The fates make sure that the sort of hero they send. Her voice trembled and she had to stop. I squeezed her hand tighter. What have I done to make you sad? They said they send a person who can never stay. Oh, what is his name? Someone chose to stay with her. It was the guy. A child of Hephaestus, right? Or was it another satire? Fuck, no, don't awe. I can't awe. Annabeth is waiting. See how he fucking explains himself. He's back. He's in camp. See, even fucking Karen sees it. She's jealous, my boy. That's stupid. She's not. It's not like she fucking kissed you, Percy. How much clearer could it fucking be? It's been confirmed. It's been confirmed. Luke stood, flexing his fingers. Oh, Quintus will come through. All we have to do is reach the arena, and it's at a juncture. Impossible to get anywhere without passing it. That's why we must have a truce with its master. It is confirmed now that Quintus is working with Luke. I don't know why I feel like there's still gonna be a twist at some point where it's like, oh, he is working with Luke, but at the same time he has his own agenda type thing. Because I feel like that was too easy. It also does confirm that Daedalus is in the labyrinth because he chose to go back into the labyrinth. I stared up at Antaeus. How can you be the son of Poseidon? I am also confused. Antaeus laughed, and the rest of the crowd laughed too. I am his favorite son, Antaeus boomed. Behold my temple to the Earth Shaker, built from the skulls of all those I've killed in his name. Your skull shall join them. So this is someone that nobody has ever recognized, right? Okay, hang on. This might be leading to the connection to, I'm gonna say SPQRS because SPQRS, the Roman camp, the one, the purples. Not a lot of information on Ethan, besides the fact that Percy did not recognize him from Camp Half Blood. Now, see, remember when we were talking about how there might be a chance Tyson could die? I'm on chapter 14, and the title is My Brother Duels Me to Death, to the Death. I'm not saying that this is where something happens, and I don't want to say anyone's gonna die, because I don't know, I haven't read it, I could be wrong. I've been wrong so many times before. Happily. I want to keep being happy. A skeleton was grinning at us. It wasn't human, it was huge for one thing, at least 10 feet tall. It had been strung up, chained by its wrists and ankles, so it made a kind of giant X over the tunnel. But what really sent a shiver down my back was the single black eye socket in the center of its skull. A cyclops, Annabeth said. It's very old. It's not anybody we know. It wasn't Tyson, she meant. But that didn't make me feel much better. It's not making me feel any much better either. She's gonna die. This is it. They're preparing us. I don't know if I want to be prepared. What if it just never happens? What if I just stop reading here and then it just never happens? I could just never finish the series. I just won't move on. I'll just leave. I'll just stop here. Damn it. He's not from the purple camp. I remember you. You were one of the undetermined kids in the Hermes cabin years ago. He glared at her. Yeah, and you're Annabeth. I remember. Daedalus's workshop, and Quintus came down the stairs, holding his sword at his side. He was wearing his jeans and boots and his counselor's t-shirt from Camp Half-Blood. You think I'm an agent of Kronos, he said. That I work for Luke. Well, duh, said Annabeth. You're an intelligent girl, he said, but you're wrong. I work only for myself. That's what I said. I am Daedalus. That's a wow. Holy shit, he did it. He made himself a new body. He transferred his. Oh, wow. This whole time. Their whole journey through the labyrinth, leaving Tyson and Grover, going through all the monsters, all the fights, all for nothing because he was in the camp this whole fucking time. The journey for what? He just let them go through all of that, knowing that they could possibly lose their sanity or die, and he just said nothing the whole time. He's so dramatic. How is Minos a judge of the dead? How is he qualified for that position? Who gave him that position? That's the Ghost King. It's Minos. Oh, no. Nico said no. And we're back. It's Nico again. He's pissing me off. Thanks. I remember the last time Annabeth and I had parted ways when she'd given me a kiss for luck in Mount St. Helens. This time, all I got was a hat. And what have you done since then? Have you given her anything? Have you done anything? The audacity. And then he's gonna sit there and pretend, oh, I don't know why she's mad at me. Why is she acting like that? Pissing me off. Ugh! I don't have a good feeling about this. Is Luke letting Kronos use his body as a vessel? Is that what's going on? Is he going to be Kronos' new body? Is he using himself as a sacrifice? Because Percy did mention that through every encounter that he's had, he just looked weaker. I'm the child of Nemesis, goddess of revenge. Oh, so he wouldn't have been in any of the houses? Because, I mean, isn't Nemesis like a minor god? But in that case, would they all just be staying in the Hermes cabin? For sharing Luke's body, because it says his voice was like a razor blade running over my skin. It was Luke's, but not Luke's. Underneath his voice was another, more horrible sound. An ancient, cold sound, like metal scraping against rock. Whoa. Nico, bro, he's strong. I want to see more of his power. I hope he finds acceptance somewhere. Oh, the lost god speaks. I think we should be seeing or hearing from Tyson and Grover. Hopefully. You didn't trust her either. The fuck? What? Percy, I need a little more self-awareness from you. You're pissing me off. Pan just wanted people to know that he was dead. And so now he's asking Grover to pass on the message. Everything is happening all at once. It's war. Mrs. O'Leary shows up. And then Daedalus shows up. It's a reunion. And then, wait. The best part, where is he? Next to him was someone else, a familiar giant, much taller than the Lays Trigonians, with 100 rippling arms, each holding a huge chunk of rock. Friars! Tyson cried in wonder. Hail, little brother. Friars bellowed. This was the redemption arc we wanted. Thank goodness. I'm so happy he's back, and I'm so happy that Tyson's happy. I'm also glad that Daedalus is there as well. I hope he eventually does die. He needs to help them first. I want him to bring out all of his machines, all of his automatons, and I want him to use them to help defend camp and save the world. And then he can die. Not before that, though. Genius does not excuse evil. Period. Say it louder. And then he was no more, and so was the labyrinth. That was a much nicer ending than I thought. They were very forgiving. it's a it was a whole reunion. It was so nice to see everyone again. See, this is the lore that we never got was about the D'Angelo siblings. Who was my mother? Who paid for Bianca and me to go to school? Who was the lawyer? Who was that lawyer guy who got us out of the Lotus Hotel? I know nothing about my past. I need to find out. And that's just really unfortunate that because Hades is just not welcome on Olympus or really anywhere, that his children are also unwelcome anywhere. This doesn't, man. I'm not happy with this. That makes sense now. Daedalus died to destroy the labyrinth, but what was the last? And lose a love to worse than death. Percy and Annabeth are on the hill because Percy's going back for the rest of the year, leaving camp. And then Hera just showed up. You found the answers as I knew you would. Your quest was a success. A success? Annabeth said. Luke is gone. Daedalus is dead. Pan is dead. How is that? Our family is safe. Those others are better gone, my dear. This just makes me hate the gods even more. But you would understand why people would not want to serve them and why people would want change. I don't agree with the kind of change and how they're going about it. But still, look at this. You hear her? This is like brainwashing. She's insane. Is that all that matters? Oh, this bitch. The son of Hades said it himself. No one wants him around. No one wants him around. He does not belong. Yeah, fuck Hera. Fuck her. What the fuck? Fuck you. Why do I have a feeling Annabeth or Percy, maybe it's together, they might be the ones to kill Luke. I really don't know how that would go down, especially if it were Annabeth. It sounds like he's past saving. I don't want to assume that he is, but it sounds like, based off of what Poseidon's saying, he might just have to go. I don't know how he was prepared to host the Titan Soul, but he will not be easily killed, and yet I fear he must be killed if we are to send Kronos back to the pit. Is there anywhere deeper that you could send him? I think the pit is a little too shallow now at this point. The way our sons and daughters act in our names, well, it usually says more about them than it does about us. I don't think that's fair. Most of the time, you don't even acknowledge them. You can't really blame them for acting out if you're not even present. So, of course, they'd be frustrated. I mean, look at Luke. I think he's a pretty big example of what could go wrong. Quote unquote wrong. Put an asterisk on that, but you're not taking enough accountability. I don't know how the rules are with gods, even though they've explained it so many times. I just feel like a lot of it is just excuses. They aren't really trying hard enough, in my opinion. They could definitely do more for their children. Yeah, that's it. Bro, we did it. We finished. Holy shit. I love Nico. I wish he could stay. He's actively being pushed out of things. Or, like, the system just doesn't work for him. It's not in his favor. His dad's family pushes him to the side. And so then he is then pushed aside as well. And so he sort of doesn't have any other choice decides to go out on his own. He deserves community, is what I'm saying. Especially the fucking way that Hera was so proud of the fact that they got rid of everyone else. The way she just dismissed Nico. She clearly did not give a fuck about what would have happened to him. Nico is wanted. He is cared for. The fact that they can't be open about that, or they feel like they can't sort of bend or break the rules because of what already exists and what the gods have to say, is disgusting. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I'm trying to think of how this will end. Kronos is definitely not going to just die. He's preying on those negative emotions and negative perceptions about the gods, which are completely valid though, to try and overthrow Olympus. And I don't doubt that they can't do that. What I am interested in is how Olympus will change here, like after that, if it does change. And I would be pretty disappointed if it doesn't. They fuck around and they toy with their children for entertainment almost. They appear when they want to appear. They pick and choose when it's convenient for them to show support randomly. And sometimes they're watching, sometimes they're not watching, sometimes they know what's going on, sometimes they don't know what's going on. It's just so unclear. There isn't a standard. And they only act that way because they feel like they're above it, which they are because they are gods. They had to discuss whether or not Percy should have even lived after what he'd done to prevent, it's like, to have saved Artemis as well as to have saved the world from Atlas. And they needed to debate for a moment. They were like, well, we don't know for sure if he's a good guy. He's done enough. Hasn't he? Has he not? Am I crazy? Is everyone else just not know what he's done? And they had the audacity to still like sit there and be like, well, we don't know if he's actually gonna kill us. The most important thing is we remain in our seats and maintain our power. If he does get all the power when he turns 16, he might just end us. He's done everything for you up in this like even when he disagreed, even when he broke the rules, he did it for you. He came back every single time. He's on your side. He's proven that so many times. I'm only processing that part of the last book now, and it's making me mad, especially with the fucking Hera. I just there's only one more book left, and I have no idea how this could possibly change. Like just systematically, I don't know how it would change. I don't know if they're gonna run away or if they leave. Like what? Oh, is that it? Will they just leave? Will they run away? No. Will they? Or will Camp Half Blood just work away from the gods? I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. And Luke, he deserved better. And it's unfortunate that this is where he felt like he could choose to have his own destiny. He's given so much of himself to Kronos and the cause. And I think from the outside perspective, we can see that he's he's being used. No different from the way the gods would use their children. Okay, one thing that I do hope for, even if Luke isn't the one listening, and or maybe he is, I hope he is. I hope Annabeth gets to say goodbye, gets the closure. I really hope she gets that. It's just the least you could do. Oh, also, Tyson didn't die. I thought he was gonna die. I for sure thought he was gonna die. I felt like he was gonna die. He did not die. Unless he dies in the next book. In that case, fuck you guys. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you warn me? Man, fuck Hera. That I that bitch. It's the last book. This is book 5. Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the last Olympian. And this is the color. Ooh, wow, wow. Can you see it? Or is it too shiny? We're ready. Last book. Okay. Okay. 23 chapters. I go cruising with explosives. I meet some fishy relatives. I get a sneak peek at my death. Rachel makes a bad deal. Oh, Rachel's back. We're not done with her. she's coming back. A titan brings me a present. Pigs fly. Chiron throws a party. We get help from a thief. So where is the war? Where's the battle? Oh, I don't. Is it just gonna appear? None of these titles scream that there's a world ending war. Should I be concerned? Is it even gonna happen? Is this really the last book? We're gonna be fine. No one's gonna die. Tyson didn't die, thank God. Grover's not dead, thank God. No one's gonna die. Ooh, dude, they have a map. Whoa. Yeah, smells like a book. A battle map of Manhattan. Titan base camp in New Jersey. Everything's legal in New Jersey. Percy. I guess the man's got options. I'd never seen her. Okay. Rachel's red hair was pulled back. I'd never seen her in anything but ratty t-shirts and paint-spattered jeans before, and she looked like a million golden drachmas. Is it wrong for me to root for Annabeth? I don't know why I raised my voice at you. I'm so sorry. I'm just the person that I'm mad at is not you. I'm mad at Percy. And so hypothetically, if these two people liked each other, what would it take to get the stupid guy to kiss the girl? Huh? Oh, I felt like one of Apollo's sacred cows, slow, dumb, and bright red. Correct. You are slow and dumb. I can't pretend I hadn't thought about Rachel. She was so much easier to be around than ellipses, well, comma, than some other girls I knew. I will not have you disrespect Annabeth in this way. You wouldn't be where you are right now had it not been for her. Shut the fuck up. I want to pick him up by the head and just shake him. I didn't have to work hard or watch what I said or rack my brain trying to figure out what she was thinking. Rachel didn't hide much. She let you know how she felt. Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah. And that's good for her. I don't know if you're good for her, but she's good for her. You know what? I hope no one ends up with Percy. I hope we all find someone else. You can't possibly be this slow. You can't possibly be this dumb. You're not this dumb, Percy, surely. All the girls that have been around him deserve better. Good luck, Rachel kissed me before I could even react. Now get going, Half-Blood. Go kill some monsters for me. See? So, Beckendorf said, I'm guessing you don't want me to mention that little scene to Annabeth. Oh God, I muttered. Don't even think about it. I hope you get no one, Percy. I hope they both find someone else. Someone better. I hope they find each other, actually. Let's just hope that they're both bisexual. Ah, Don't be dumb, Percy. You're not fucking dumb. I know you're not fucking dumb. Stop acting dumb. He couldn't have been more than 12, about the same age I was when I'd first arrived at Camp Half-Blood. That thought depressed me. This kid was getting brainwashed, trained to hate the gods and lash out because he'd been born half Olympian. Kronos was using him, and yet the kid thought I was his enemy. These are just two sides of the same coin, in my opinion. You could be brainwashed to hate the gods just as well as you could be brainwashed to serve them. Percy's with Tyson in Poseidon's palace, and I'm assuming Beckendorf is dead. Okay, I think it is confirmed that he is dead. He couldn't have put enough distance between himself and the explosion. I knew in my gut he was dead. He'd sacrificed himself to take out the Princess Andromeda, and I had abandoned him. Annabeth blushed. It dawned on me that she knew I'd been hanging out with Rachel, and I felt guilty. Then I felt angry that I felt guilty. I was allowed to have friends outside camp, right? It wasn't like ellipsis. It really is seaweed. That's all that's up there, apparently. He really does have a seaweed brain. We're 4 chapters in and we haven't heard anything. We haven't heard anything about Grover or what he's up to. Where is he? What happened? Where did he go? We've heard about Nico more than we've heard about Grover. So, they haven't heard anything from Grover besides the maple leaf. The maple leaf came from a satire in Canada. So Percy mentioned Rachel and her paintings and his dream of Rachel and Rachel's paintings. There was a painting of Luke. There was a painting of the Empire State Building. Percy even mentioned when he first saw the picture or the painting that he somehow knew that that was specifically the age Luke was before he was aware he was a half-blood. What do you want me to say? Pretty Rachel is just a mortal. Okay, I don't like the way she's talking about Rachel. Give her a chance. She might be better than Percy. She got right in my face. Yes, you're a coward, Percy Jackson. Annabeth is mad. Everyone sees it but Percy. Imagine if she knew that Percy actually did consider staying on the island with Calypso. They're just going. There's no explanation. They're just jumping straight into it. Okay, so we know Nico showed up last year. He thought of a way that Percy could defeat Kronos, and now he keeps coming back. And okay, this is the plan where Percy said he's had nightmares ever since Nico brought it up. He was like, "This is dangerous, probably deadly." And now Nico is back again at camp to ask him if this is something he wants to do. And he was like, "You know what? Sure." They never said what it was. They didn't talk about a plan. There was no strategy. He's just going with Mrs. O'Leary. Eniko. First, we'll need to retrace Luke's steps. We need to know more about his past, his childhood. What does that mean? For what? What are they doing? What's going on? I don't know. I'm. Because, like, is this really the best time to be making such an impulsive choice? So they reached Miss Castellan's house. She can't seem to see very well, nor can she really remember very well. Hermes help, not my child, not his fate, no. I'm not crying, but I am emotional. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're trying to do. Something blue, I said. We'd had a running joke for years about blue food. It was my favorite color, and my mom went out of her way to humor me. Every year of my birthday. My Easter basket, the Christmas candy canes, always had to be blue. Yes, Mom agreed. I'll watch for a blue signal. She gave me one last hug. I tried not to feel like I was saying goodbye. My pits are sweating. I don't know why it's hitting hard now. Maybe it is because we saw we saw Miss Castellan. Percy mentioned it. I remembered poor Miss Castellan in her kitchen, waiting for her son to come home, and I realized how lucky I was. My mom had always been there for me, always tried to make things normal for me, even when the gods and monsters and stuff. She put up with me going off on adventures, but now I was asking for her blessing to do something that would probably get me killed. You better set that fucking signal! There's good news. Grover is alive. He was taking a nap for 2 months because he encountered Morpheus, god of dreams, and he put him to sleep. And now they're going to the underworld. Miko check Percy. Small part of me is kind of proud of him. I get that Percy is mad, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad. We saw Hestia. She talked about when everything else is gone and I'm the last Olympian standing, all you have left is home. And so Percy is now stepping into the river Styx, trying to think of all those things so that he doesn't burn and die or go insane or whatever. Every nerve in my body burned. I was dissolving in the water. I saw faces: Rachel, Grover, Tyson, my mother, but they faded as soon as they appeared. Percy, my mom said, I give you my blessing. Be safe, brother, Tyson pleaded. Enchiladas, Grover said. I wasn't sure where that came from, but it didn't seem to help much. I haven't seen Annabeth. Hold on, seaweed brain. It was Annabeth's voice, much clearer now. You're not getting away from me that easily. The cord strengthened. I could see Annabeth now, standing barefoot above me on the canoe lake pier. I'd fallen out of my canoe. That was it. She was reaching out her hand to haul me up, and she was trying not to laugh. Okay, I judged him too quickly. Did it really have to take him to go all the way into the underworld and then into the River Styx? It had to take all of that for him to realize that he had feelings for Annabeth. The heel is only my physical weakness, demigod. My mother, Thetis, held me there when she dipped me in the Styx. What really killed me was my own arrogance. Beware, turn back. That would make Annabeth his biggest strength and his biggest weakness. Now I'm concerned. Please, please, please do not hurt her. So that was the plan. To dip yourself in the river Styx and gain really powerful powers. Go back to your father, I told Nico. Tell him he owes me for letting him go. Find out what's going to happen to Mount Olympus and convince him to help. Nico stared at me. I can't. He'll hate me now. I mean, even more. You have to, I said. You owe me too. His ears turned red. Percy, I told you I was sorry. Please let me come with you. I want to fight. There'll be more help down here. He's just pushing him away as well, like everyone else. I mean, he's just proving everyone right at that point. He's proving Hera right, and especially with what Hades said earlier, with the why should I go help the gods when they've outcasted me, even my children? And okay, I get that Nico lied, but Nico also just didn't know. I also don't think he has the context what Percy has been through with Grover and Annabeth. Nico was sincere and he did want to help, and he did. Yeah, Nico was a little naive in believing that his dad only wanted to talk. Fine, I'll give him that. But besides that, I don't see why he'd be this mad at Nico. At least I didn't really get it. Annabeth stared at him with adoration. I am. Talia grinned. We'd better get going, Annabeth. We have a safe house on the James River. We'll get you some clothes and food. You're you're not going to take me back to my family, she said. Promise? Luke put his hand on her shoulder. You're a part of our family now, and I promise I won't let anything hurt you. I'm not going to fail you like our families did us. Deal? Deal. See, I didn't cry. I just wanted to share it. Luke didn't have a family, so he made one, and he looked after them. He practically raised Annabeth. I can't even imagine the kind of grief she's experiencing. Kronos is obviously in him. You obviously have to kill him. That just makes sense. But if there is hope that he is still in there, I don't know. What? How do you deal with that? How are you gonna kill him? How are you gonna overthrow him? Is your mom really horrible? Annabeth asked. Can we see her? No, Luke snapped. Annabeth shrank away from him as though his anger surprised her. I am sorry, he said. Just wait here. I promise everything will be okay. Nothing's going to hurt you. I'll be back. I'm not crying. I'm not. I just. She told me in the woods, if you were to understand your enemy Luke, you must understand his family. But why had she shown me those scenes? Brother, that was his family. Are you. Brother? What? Boy? I will. Come on now. Please. Fuck me, bro. Obviously, it was his family. That. You. Come on. So, this is the deal that Rachel made. Apparently, she is not just someone who can see through the mist, but she can also sense things, and she gets visions as well that she paints or has dreams of. She made a deal with her dad, saying that she would go to Claren Ladies Academy, the one that she did not want to go to because it was like for high society people. And she said, if we go to New York right now, if we go back, then I'll go to the academy. Huge lore drop. We now know that Nico's mom died in an explosion. That was when Hades decided to send them to the Lotus Hotel. For some reason, Zeus, well, none of the gods have any power over the hotel. During this time, the Oracle also appeared. Hades cursed the Oracle, so that explains why the Oracle is in the body that it is in. and why it looks like a mummy. Thalia Grace? Is Jason's last name Grace? As in Jason Grace? Because Grace sounds familiar. I mean, in that case, it would make sense because they're both children of Zeus. He somehow ended up somewhere else, though. I don't really get how that would have happened. Also, I'm pretty sure Thalia would have remembered that she had a sibling, right? All these years I've been calling to you, praying you'd show up, and nothing. You left me with her. Your mother did the best she could. As for me, I could not interfere with your path. It's the same thing over and over again. The children of the gods must find their own way. I'm not a god. Just once you could have said something. You could have helped when she was having one of her fits, shaking me and saying crazy things about my fate. When I used to hide in the closet so she wouldn't find me with those glowing eyes. Did you even care that I was scared? Did you even know when I finally ran away? He could have tried to do something. Because if the problem was him not being there enough, then he could have at least tried to be a little more active in Luke's life. Or did he just not think that he was the problem? So you know what happens. You just let it happen? You think that's good enough? What did my mom see that made her like this? What's going to happen to me? If you love me, tell me. I cannot. Then you don't care. He should have never yelled at Annabeth. It was never her fault. He had so many chances throughout Luke's life. He knew what May's visions were. He knew what they meant. He did nothing. He had time. He had Luke's whole life growing up. He did nothing. To say that you can't interfere, that's just an excuse. With how much the gods have broken so many rules and have fucked around, that means nothing. Grover raised his pipes and played a quick tune. For some reason, the tune that comes into my mind is from a flute. Do you guys remember the tune from the 12 Dancing Princesses? The one that the shoe seller does? I think he was the one who was playing the music so that the princesses would dance around in their new shoes or like their ballerina shoes. And that's what I'm imagining Grover is playing on his pipes. And then all the wood spirits and the dryads and everyone else is just like dancing around, dancing into war, into the fight. I think I might have to pause here because I'm sleepy and I'm very tired. I'm already past halfway. Yo, that was fast. What the fuck? Oh! I might as well just keep reading. Past halfway. That went by so quickly. And I think it might have been because everything was happening in a in like a couple days time. Like there weren't as many time skips. So in my mind I was just like I have to keep reading, I have to keep going. And so I just subconsciously ended up reading way more than I thought. I think I might finish this. Oh my goodness! I don't want it to end. The first time that Chiron has made an entrance with his awesome family. And I fucking love how you could just hear the horn and then you're like, oh, okay, it's them. Everything has been so tense. Everyone's just been trying to defend Olympus nonstop. And that's the thing is that they were like, some are defending, some are on the enemy side, some are just not my fight. Wild, by the way. Hades, looking at you. In a blur of movement, an entire cavalry appeared as if dropping out of light speed. Yeah, baby! A voice wailed, "Party!" Bro, I love the energy they have. A shower of arrows arced over our heads and slammed into the enemy, vaporizing hundreds of demons. But these weren't regular arrows. They made whizzy sounds as they flew, like wee. So that was not the sound. You grab your copy and you read with me. Some had pinwheels attached to them. Others had boxing gloves rather than points. Centaurs! Annabeth yelled. The party pony army exploded into our midst. Party pony army! I want to be a party pony. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the update that Chiron has on the gods. The gods are tiring. Dionysus was incapacitated yesterday. Typhon smashed his chariot, and the wine god went down somewhere in the Appalachians. No one has seen him since. I hope he's okay. But that was the thing, though, right? That they said was that gods technically can't die, but it'll take a lot for them to come back. If they, well, it's not they. What happens? They get injured, but it just takes time for them to heal. But they can't die. I feel like we've been through this so many times throughout the whole series, and I still can't wrap my head around what actually happens. The least I could say, I'm kind of stressed. I'm kind of stressed for them. I'm concerned because this is a lot. I'm trying to think of maybe other groups that haven't arrived yet, or maybe other people that they could call. Nico, man. Imagine him just summoning the dead, just creating a line around the Empire State Building, and then just rising with just all the ghosts. Just whoa. It was a civilian model painted dark red with the bright green DE logo on the side. The words under the logo were too small to read, but I knew what they said. Their enterprises. My throat closed up. I looked at Annabeth and could tell she recognized the logo too. Her face was as red as the helicopter. What is she doing here? Annabeth demanded. Annabeth is not happy. Annabeth, okay, where is it? Come on, Percy, Annabeth growled. We have to save your friend. She's the only one awake? How? Bro, the rules of the world I don't understand. Tension. There's already tension with war and people dying, and now there's more tension. God, it's complicated. And we haven't even gone to Calypso yet. He hasn't even. I don't think he's ever gonna bring her up, bro. Right now, it's Rachel. Right, it's just with Rachel. This is what's going on. Annabeth is so shady. You saved my life, Rachel said. Annabeth flexed her bad shoulder. Annabeth flexed her bad shoulder. Yeah, well, let's not make a habit of it. What are you doing here, Dare? Don't you know better than to fly into a war zone? Rachel glanced at me. I had to be here. I knew Percy was in trouble. Got that right, Annabeth grumbled. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have some injured friends I've got to tend to. Glad you could stop by, Rachel. Annabeth, I called. She stormed off. Rachel plopped down on the curb and put her head in her hands. I'm sorry, Percy. I didn't mean to. I always mess things up. It was kind of hard to argue with her, though. I was glad she was safe. What do you mean? Hang on. I'm trying to think of the times or like the moments when she messed things up. Besides, okay, put aside like her personal life with her parents. in terms of, like, in context with Percy, she saved his ass. Like, the very first time they met, she told him to hide, and she misdirected the skeleton soldiers. And then the other time, she threw her blue hair comb at the at Kronos. Well, that didn't really help, but she did something. So what is he? It was kind of hard to argue with her. What the fuck is Percy? What is this boy on? Clear. What the fuck? What? But she's seeing a lot more. As in, she has dreams, and now she's right. She's painting. Besides the paintings, she's also been writing in ancient Greek, and she's been receiving messages somehow. I don't know its meaning, but I know it's important. You have to hear it. It said, Perseus, you are not the hero. Percy had a dream, and it's about Nico. God, I haven't heard from him in so long. You have to, Nico insisted. Bro, Demeter and Persephone, they useless. I don't really get what they're doing or what the point of them is. Because, you know, Hera was a bitch, but she had a plan. Or, like, she had some goals. She was doing something. Demeter and Persephone, in this case, I have no idea what they're like. They just seem so useless. If Olympus falls, your palace's safety doesn't matter. You'll fade too. I'm not an Olympian, he growled. My family made that quite clear. You are, Nico said, whether you like it or not. Like, imagine your brother kills your partner. That's not. I don't see how you could forgive that. But then at the same time, they're all gods, and I don't really understand. It's hard for me to empathize with gods. Life works differently for them, if you even call it life. Like, their existence is different. The way the world works for them is different. So then all of this just, it's so hard for me to grasp. It's like, yeah, okay, I get it for the moment, but then at the same time I'm like, oh wait, you're a god. Is there really a point to, like, can I really feel sorry for you at this point where Olympus is at risk and it's threatening the existence of the gods? He is included in them. Can't you just take a minute and maybe justify the fight for yourself and just be like, okay, well, yeah, okay, I'll fight, but I'm fighting because because I still want to exist. I want my underworld to exist. So I'm going to defend Olympus. Because if he does nothing, then he loses it all. That's the group that I forgot. Fucking the Aries. They would be so helpful right now, given the war that they are going through and the fact that they are the children of the war god. Oh, on top of that, I don't even know if I ever mentioned it, but there is a spy among them. They don't know who yet, but they're there, and they've been updating Kronos about the 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 plans that they've been having. Just a small sliver, a tiny moment before another round of maybe I could die, maybe this all goes down, maybe we all just end up in the underworld. He goes, will you help me? I asked. That's what I do, she said miserably. I help my friends. I felt like a complete jerk. As you fucking should. About fucking time. Just this, and it happens at the worst time as well because he can't even sit to really think about it, to let it simmer, to let it cook in his mind, in his brain. Because immediately after this, he has to go fight a fucking dragon, whatever. I still think Annabeth deserves better. Now he feels like a jerk. Now, of all the times, of all the places, now he's pissing me off. But you know what? Fine, go fight. It's complicated, as you said. I wanted to pull her aside and explain that I didn't mean for Rachel to be here and that it wasn't my idea, but we had no time. Yeah, well, I feel like there's a lot you could explain. Though, anytime this topic comes around, I want to strangle Percy. I want to shake his head. I want to just grip like the top of his head and just uncap his skull. Fucking dumbass. But yeah, sure, fine, go ahead. You have like a world to save or whatever. I guess this can wait. Here, they're here! Then I heard a rumbling in the south. It wasn't a sound you hear much in New York, but I recognized it immediately. Chariot wheels. A girl's voice yelled, Ares! And a dozen war chariots charged into battle. Each flew a red banner with a symbol of the wild boar's head. Each was pulled by a team of skeletal horses with manes of fire. A total of 30 fresh warriors, armor gleaming and eyes full of hate, lowered their lances out as one, making a bristling wall of death. And she didn't have blue eyes. Wait, what? Hang on. What's going on? She's possessed? By what? Is she the traitor? Is it? Clarice was lying on the ground where she'd fallen, her armor smoked with poison. Annabeth and the Ares campers were trying to unfasten her helmet, and kneeling next to them, her face blotchy with tears, was a girl in camp clothes. It was Clarice. Wait, what? Rachel's words rang in my ears, a trick that ends in death. Now I knew what she meant, and I knew who had led the Ares cabin into battle. I looked down at the dying face of Selena Brigard. Why was that the tactic? Why did why did she lead? Who were they trying to fool? She's blaming herself for a lot of things. Selena took Clarice's armor and pretended to be her because her cabin mates would only listen to Clarice. Oh! Selena opened her hand. In her palm was a silver bracelet with the scythe charm, the mark of Kronos. Wow! I did not see that coming. Oh, and the lore. Oh, the lore, 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 the lore. Before I liked Charlie, Luke was nice to me. He was so charming, handsome. Later on, I wanted to stop helping him, but he threatened to tell. He promised I was saving lives. Fewer people would get hurt. He told me he wouldn't hurt Charlie. He lied to me. I read the way I see videos or like watch movies. I just see them in my head as they happen. But what's never really fully clear are the faces. And so whenever they say things like he was so charming, handsome, I can't imagine a face. But I can imagine a person. For some reason in my mind, he's like a white boy, like a blonde. They described him at some point. He was blonde. He threatened to tell. Tell who? About what? The fact that you were the spy? I know they said that they wanted to block the doors to prevent the monsters from getting in and using the elevator. Because I mean, Olympus is technically just above the Empire State Building, so wouldn't they? Some of them, at least, wouldn't they be able to fly up past all the floors and past all the stairs, and they sort of make it to like the corner, the edge by flying onto it? Is that not possible? Does Olympus only materialize once you've gone through the elevator? To claim your place at the hearth, Hestia told her, you must let go of your distractions. It is the only way you will survive. Rachel nodded. I understand. Wait, I said. What is she talking about? Rachel took a shaky breath. Percy, when I came here, I thought I was coming for you. But I wasn't! Good for you. Good for you. Let's go, Rachel. Yep, you and me. She shook her head. Wait, now I'm a distraction? Is this because I'm not the hero or whatever? Can you, like, decenter yourself for a minute? What the fuck is up with you? Like, she. What? I. You're not the only hero. Let's just be clear. You are a hero. Everyone knows you're a hero. You know you're a fucking hero, okay? But you're not the only one out there. Can you, like. Why? His head is so big. What the fuck is. I. It's not gonna. It's. It's not always about you, Percy. Can we just. Can you, like, not? For a minute? Bro's just not hearing her. I was drawn to you because you opened the door to all of this. She gestured at the throne room. I needed to understand my true sight, but you and me, that wasn't part of it. Our fates aren't intertwined. I think you've always known that deep down. I stared at her. Maybe I wasn't the brightest guy in the world when it came to girls, but I was pretty sure Rachel had just dumped me. Bro, she's trying to tell you that she's experiencing something that she's never experienced before, and she's uncovering something about herself right now, and all you can think of is, oh yeah, I think she's probably dumping me right now. Which was lame considering we'd never even been together. Percy, I'm snitching to your mom. What the fuck? This isn't about you right now. Can you maybe focus for a minute? She's clearly trying to tell you that this isn't about you right now. It's about her right now. Can you do you understand? Can you get that through your seaweed brain for like a minute? So Percy managed to convince Poseidon to fight along with the other gods. If all three of them manage to be there, that would be awesome. That would be epic. That would be so cool. If he does arrive, then that could also mean that Tyson could also be there, fighting with them. Then they could fight all together as a family. Chiron is fighting. I I don't want him to die, but he's fighting Kronos. Parentheses Luke. No, Annabeth wailed. The freezing spell broke. We ran toward our teacher, but there was no sign of him. Thalia and I pulled helplessly at the bricks while a ripple of ugly laughter ran through the Titan's army. She fought me and screamed, I hate you. I wasn't sure who she was talking to, me, Luke, or Kronos. All three. Hang on. Wait, sorry. Everything's going so quickly. He's dead? Chiron is dead? Nico! He's here! So many emotions. Nico! Nico strode forward. The enemy army fell back before him like he radiated death, which of course he did. Dude! Okay. The ground rumbled. Cracks appeared in the road, the sidewalks, the sides of the buildings. Skeletal hands grasped the air as the dead clawed their way into the world of the living. There were thousands of them. As they emerged, the Titans' monsters got jumpy and started to back up. Hold your ground, Kronos demanded. The dead are no match for us. Bro, thousands. He has gotten stronger. He might faint right after this. The sky turned dark and cold. The sky! Shadows thickened. A harsh war horn sounded as the dead soldiers formed up ranks with their guns and swords and spears. An enormous chariot roared down Fifth Avenue. It came to a stop next to Nico. The horses were living shadows fashioned from darkness. The chariot was inlaid with obsidian and gold, decorated with scenes of painful death. Holding the reins was Hades himself, the Lord of the Dead, with Demeter and Persephone riding behind him. So it was Hades. I might. Okay. Of course it was Hades. I got a little too excited. But I'm pretty sure he helped. I'm pretty sure Nico did raise some of them. They have to come together as a family to fight family. It's funny because it's just family versus. This is a whole. All of this is just a family affair. This whole thing. They're all so dramatic. It's just family after family, cousin after cousin, son after father. My heart twisted. I'd forgotten about Chiron. How could I do that? Bro, a lot was happening all at once. As in, like, you were action to action to action to action. Okay, just, you're fine. Mrs. O'Leary, I said, please, Chiron's under there. If anyone can dig him out, you can. Find him, help him. I'm not sure how much she understood, but she bounded to the pile and started to dig. Bro, this is fucking epic. Poseidon's here. Poseidon's joined the party. Poseidon was no longer an old man. He looked like himself again, tan and strong with a black beard. As he swung his trident, the river responded, making a funnel cloud around the monster. No! Cronus bellowed after a moment of stunned silence. No! Now, my brethren! Poseidon's voice was so loud I wasn't sure if I was hearing it from the smoke image or from all the way across town. Strike for Olympus! Let's fucking go! Warriors burst out of the river, riding the waves on huge sharks and dragons and seahorses. It was a legion of cyclopses. And leading them into battle was Tyson! I yelled. I knew he couldn't hear me, but I stared at him in amazement. He'd magically grown in size. He had to be 30 feet tall, as big as any of his older cousins. And for the first time, he was wearing full battle armor. Wait, okay. So Typhon is here, which means the other gods must be here as well. As in, like, Zeus, Athena, Aphrodite. Where are they? Oh, there they are. There was like one line down. The other gods struck with renewed force. Ares rode in and stabbed Typhon in the nose. Artemis shot the monster in the eye with a dozen silver arrows. Apollo shot a blazing volley of arrows and set the monster's loincloth on fire. And Zeus kept pounding the giant with lightning until finally, slowly the water rose, wrapping Typhon like a cocoon. But down he went as my dad opened a special tunnel for him at the bottom of the river, an endless water slide that would take him straight to Tartarus. Bah! Bah, bah, bah. Sorry. Kronos screamed. He slashed his sword through the smoke, tearing the image to shreds. They're on their way, I said. You've lost. I haven't even started. That's true. There are like. How many other Titans? Girl, what are you doing? What is going on? Annabeth! I tried to move, but my body was frozen again. How could Annabeth, battered and half dead with exhaustion, have the strength to fight a titan like Kronos? That means it's probably not him. It's Luke, isn't it? The prophecy. She saw what you would do. It applies to you. Did his mother see someone saving someone? Or like a hero doing a saving or something? Oh, is that what she. Oh. Is that what Rachel meant? As in, Percy isn't the hero? Luke is? Blood trickled from the corner of her mouth. She croaked, family, Luke. You promised. not do this to me. Kronos staggered. He stared at the knife in Annabeth's hand, the blood on her face. Promise. Then he gasped like he couldn't get air. Annabeth. But it wasn't the Titan's voice, it was Luke's. He stumbled forward like he couldn't control his own body. You're bleeding. I finally understood what she'd been trying to tell me. You are not the hero, Rachel had said. It will affect what you do. Please, Luke groaned. No time. He unlatched the side straps of his armor, exposing a small bit of his skin just under his left arm. With difficulty, he stabbed himself. It wasn't a deep cut, but Luke howled. This is this is the goodbye. She gets her goodbye. The world was collapsing, and the only thing that really mattered to me was that she was still alive. You were like a brother to me, Luke, but I didn't love you. He nodded as if he'd expected it. He winced in pain. The blue signal was sent. Mama Jackson knows he's okay. Mrs. O'Leary had dug Kyron out of the rubble and rushed him off to camp. Thank goodness. He's alive. He's not dead, everyone. Okay, wait. Okay, so they're basically going through like this whole post-war thanks, a post-war gathering. All the gods have gathered, and now they're calling all of their children one by one to show them and give them recognition. Grover is now Lord of the Wild, and he's also part of the Council of Cloven Elders. Tyson's getting a new stick. But aren't there still Titans? Am I crazy? The gold one, I forgot the names. There was the gold one and the one in the mountain. Or how does this go? What happens to them? What happens to the rest of the monsters? So where would Kronos go? I don't mean to shatter. I like everyone's having a great time. Everyone's relieved. Everyone's happy that the war is done. But I'm still a little concerned. I'm shaken still. So I'm just trying to figure things out. Also, what happens to the palace on Mount Tam? Oh, official architect of Olympus? I thought about the three fates and the way I'd seen my life flash by. I could avoid all that. No aging, no death, no body in the grave. I could be a teenager forever, in top condition, powerful and immortal, serving my father. I could have life. I could have power and eternal life. Who could refuse that? That doesn't sound appealing. That does not sound like something anyone would want. To live forever? I don't think so, man. Bro, yes. This is the best gift he could have ever asked for. Bro, from now on, I want you to properly recognize the children of the gods, I said. All the children of all the gods. The Olympian shifted uncomfortably. Yeah, that's fucking right. Being held accountable for your actions, dumbass. Percy, my father said, what exactly do you mean? Kronos couldn't have risen if it hadn't been for a lot of demigods who felt abandoned by their parents. They felt angry, resentful, and unloved, and they had a good reason. True. Zeus's royal nostrils flared. I will hit Zeus. The fuck is wrong? You dare accuse no more undetermined children, I said. I want you to promise to claim your children, all your demigod children, by the time they turn 13. They won't be left out in the world on their own at the mercy of monsters. I want them claimed and brought to camp so they can be trained right and survive. Now just wait a moment, Apollo said, but I was on a roll. And the minor gods, I said. Nemesis, Hecate. Hecate? Hesate? Morpheus. Janus. Janus? Hannes. Janus. Heb. 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 Hebe, Hebe? They all deserve a general amnesty and a place at Camp Half-Blood. Their children shouldn't be ignored. Calypso and the other peaceful Titan kind should be pardoned too. And Hades, are you calling me a minor god? Hades bellowed. No, my lord, I said quickly, but your children should not be left out. They should have a cabin at the camp. Nico has proven that. No unclaimed demigods will be crammed into the Hermes cabin anymore. Wondering who their parents are, they'll have their own cabins for all the gods, and no more pact of the big three. That didn't work anyway. You've got to stop trying to get rid of powerful demigods. We're going to train them and accept them instead. All children of the gods will be welcome and treated with respect. That is my wish. Is that all? Percy Poseidon said. You ask much, you presume much. Okay, then do something. Say something. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean by presume? How do you what how why do you think this happened? Okay, so this is a crucial part because this is the sort of thing that I just it just kept going back and forth. I owe you an apology. Hermes Hermes gave me a cautious look, and why is that? I thought you were a bad father, I admitted. I thought you abandoned Luke because you knew his future and didn't do anything to stop it, which I thought so as well. I did know his future, Hermes said miserably, but you knew more than just the bad stuff, that he'd turn evil. You understood what he would do in the end. You knew he'd make the right choice, but you couldn't tell him, could you? Hermes stared at the fountain. No one can tamper with fate, Percy, not even a god. If I had warned him what was to come or tried to influence his choices, I would have made things even worse. Staying silent, staying away from him, that was the hardest thing I've ever done. You had to let him find his own path, I said, and play his part in saving Olympus. Just don't tell any part of the prophecy to your child. Just just leave it be, right? However, there are still things that you can do for them that don't involve you talking about the prophecy. Because I feel like part of what drove Luke insane was the fact that he kept being told that he was going to that his fate was sealed or written in some way or form, and there was no explanation, and obviously that terrified him. But you can at least make yourself known. I'm pretty sure, right? You can say, hey, I'm your dad. You like messages? That's my job. You like snakes? I've got two. Stuff like that. He just needs to know that you exist and that you're there. You like it's not always going to be it shouldn't have to always be about the prophecy or the fate. They're still part human. You could just be there and they'd appreciate it. Or you'd show the fact that you're there and they would appreciate it. Meanwhile, my son Luke is dead. He died believing I didn't care about him. I will never forgive myself. See, prophecy or not, show up. Just show them that you're there and you exist and that you see them still, even when you're not around. Rachel is in the process of taking the place of the Oracle. The new Oracle of Delphi! Wait! 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 Dude, this is. It's. When she spoke, her voice tripled, like three Rachels were talking at once. 7 half-blood shall answer the call. To storm or fire, the world must fall. An oath to keep with a final breath. The foes bear arms to the doors of death. It's the prophecy. It's the hoe. Hoe is coming. Y'all. Can I just say, I know that Ethan was eventually made to be part of, or he was the person that they were talking about in one of the prophecies, like the prophecy from the last book. I didn't really care for him. Like, it didn't, in my mind, it still doesn't really click, or it doesn't really make much sense. Because, okay, Pan, big deal. Daedalus, big deal. Ethan, he sort of just appeared. I get that he eventually had a role in trying to speak up for the minor gods. I didn't really feel the weight of it as much. And so because here they're lighting up his shroud, he'd paid a lot more than an eye, but the minor gods would finally get the respect they deserved. That was it. We're done. We fucking did it. Ah! Oh. Oh. So much was going on all at once, especially with the war. Everything was happening so quickly, but at the same time, it was so epic to see everyone come together, and then all the times people were coming in, uh, coming in by surprise, or they would just show up suddenly, randomly, which at some point was sort of getting old. But then, uh, specifically when Selena came in as Clarice, that's when I was like, oh shit. I didn't. Percy was pissing me off a fair amount. Towards the end, towards maybe the last two books. It was pretty frustrating reading his perspective. So that was annoying. I really, really thought that Tyson was gonna die. I really thought in book four that he was gonna be he was done. He was cooked. He was gonna die. I just feel so much happier. I appreciated the fact that I was wrong so many times. Like, I was so glad that the things that I thought were gonna happen did not happen. And there were so many more twists that I didn't expect or I didn't see coming. Especially in this book. I feel like the last one, there were just so many twists that I just did not see coming at all. Also, I'm so fucking glad, bro. I could not have been so much more grateful for the fact that Annabeth and Luke got to say goodbye. They got their closure. Fucking Christ. I I had no idea how that was gonna happen. I knew that I wanted it to happen. I don't know how it was gonna happen. I don't know how that was gonna go. I was nervous for them, but I'm so glad that she got to do that in the end. Also, I will say, I do wish I wish there was more Nico. I really wanted to see more of Nico when Percy was making his wish, or when he was being offered a gift, and he decided to have the gods claim all of their children. That was the part I was sort of concerned about. Was, say you did end the war, you won, but the reform that comes with that, the reform that comes after that, with all the other children, all the people that were on Cronus's side, the demigods in particular, them feeling like they weren't being cared for, or they weren't wanted, or they weren't heard. That was the source of the problem. And I'm so glad that Percy brought it up in the end. You sort of learn more and more about Luke, and you get him, and you understand it, because you don't just see it based off of what Luke was saying, or through his resentment, but through what Percy was being put through. You could clearly see that he was also a victim of whatever the fuck the gods wanted him to do. Because I genuinely don't know how that would have worked. Because war is one thing. The physical fight, fine. In my mind, in I feel like for anyone, like that part's easy. But everything that led up to that, that's the problem, right? So how would you have addressed that? And I feel like at the very end, it was done beautifully. Percy, Percy did it. Percy saw. Percy knew. Percy got to the point. Nichols in camp. He has. He's gonna get he's gonna get the family. He's gonna have a family. He's gonna have a community. He's gonna have a place. And I'm so happy because I feel like throughout all the other books, there were definitely many questions and many times where you're like, well, how does that apply? How does that work? What about this part? What about that part? What about all the lores and all those things that you needed to put a pin in because you had to keep coming back to that because I feel like there would have been so many questions that we sort of just kept bouncing from one problem to another and I was losing track and my mind was like I can't focus on so many things. I'm not one of those people. And so the way that the last book sort of tied everything together was really helpful for me as well because I couldn't follow so many plots all at once. Was Grover the one who ended up on Calypso's island? Now that I'm thinking about it, was he the one? Was he the one that also found Jason and Piper? Was it another satire that found Jason and Piper? I feel like there's still a lot of other things that the gods need to address, need to address in terms of their pettiness. There's so much more that they need to be held accountable for besides their intentional ignorance towards their children. Had they just looked after their kids. It's been months since I finished PJO, but I finally got the whole series. Wait, hold on. Look at it. Oh, I'm watching Sophia and Tyler. Look! There. I still can't really get over how it ended because I remember Percy having a really big speech at the end calling out the gods for how they treated their kids and how he wanted change and how he wanted their behavior to change. The thing is, okay, maybe we'll learn more about it once we start reading whole. I just can't stop thinking about it, right? Because it's such an important part it's that part is crucial, right? The system change that needs to happen so that the thing that happened to Luke does not ever happen again. And it wasn't just to Luke, it was to it happened to a ton of other demigods or children of the gods. And it affected everyone in a way that they could relate. Not everyone necessarily went as far as Luke did. The only real way you can see change is through the actions of the gods and how they choose to move forward. It's been bothering me because I don't remember, sorry. I don't, because it's been so long since I've last read Ho, but I don't remember if we do see that change in Ho or if it's not as prominent in the plot anymore. I understand that Percy worded it well enough. He stated his demands, right? Of like, I want all the children of the gods to be claimed by the time that they're 13, and I want them to be trained in Camp Half Blood so that they are not at the mercy of the monsters anymore. And all of that. Will the gods follow through? That to me is like where I'm coming from going into Ho as I'm about to start Ho. I'm really excited to see all the characters again. Also, I found out that Nico has his own series. And wait, I somehow, how did I just not remember that he was gay? Like, I just completely forgot that he was gay. I don't know how, but I did. And I essentially spoiled myself because I read the book. I forgot what it was called, but it was like Nico D'Angelo spin-off series, and then it was the second book of the series. So it was him, his boyfriend, whose name I forgot. Will, was it Will? William? And then Hazel. Hazel's his sister? Like, as in she's a child of Hades, which I forgot. Okay, so it's right here, but we have Percy, Annabeth. So Percy, son of Poseidon, and then Athena, and then Jason has glasses. For some reason, I didn't even remember that Jason has glasses. Anyway, Jason, son of Zeus. This is Piper, son of Aphrodite. Leo! Valdez! That's Leo, right? That's his name? Leo? Was it Leo? He was the third wheel. He was like Grover adjacent, right? Who was he the child of? Hephaestus? No. I know that's Frank. Or was Frank the son of Hephaestus? One of them, I think, was the son of Hephaestus. I can't remember which one. And then Hazel, who I believe, well, according to the blurb of the book, is a child of Hades. Oh, wait, so Nico still isn't a part of this. Nico isn't part of the Big Seven. I thought that he was. Luke was a huge loss. Like, because how do you move on from that? How do you take real, tangible action to prevent something like that from happening again? The gods need to do their part and play a more active role in their children's lives. Hades' children and the children of the minor gods deserve a place alongside the other Olympians. But will the gods actually do that? Because based off of everything that we've read, everything that we've seen them do with Percy and all of the quests, they don't seem very reliable. They seem very all over the place, unstable, etc. I guess they have to abide by it given that they were the ones who asked Percy for his wish. So I guess in a way that it's sort of binding in that sense. I guess they all did they swear on the river Styx? Is that something that the gods can do? I can't remember. But I guess they have to do it now. I just I'm concerned. It is something that I am worrying about. I am excited to see Nico again. To see everyone again. It's been a very long time. There's more that I can't wait to read. But yeah.